News alert, President Trump just posting this on Truth Social, quote, if the radical left Democrats don't immediately sign an agreement to let our country, in particular our airports, be free and safe again, I will move our brilliant and patriotic ICE agents to the airports where they will do security like no one has ever seen before, including the immediate arrest of all illegal immigrants who have come into our country, with heavy emphasis on those from Somalia who have totally destroyed, with the approval of a corrupt governor, attorney general, and Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, the once great state of Minnesota. I look forward to seeing ICE in action at our airports. Make America great again. And that comes, as we know, ICE is fully funded for a few years. So he does have the power to do this. And I guess the question remains, does Chuck Schumer continue this and President Trump make good on that promise he just put out on Truth Social?
Good evening, I'm Bill Malugin, and this is your Fox News Report. TSA lines are getting longer at airports all across the country as spring break travel picks up. Passengers are facing wait times of up to 2 hours at some checkpoints. TSA agents are going without pay, and some aren't even showing up to work. The fight to fund DHS is still in a standoff in Congress. Today is the first day of spring, but it certainly doesn't feel like it for much of the country. Most of California, the Southwest, and parts of the Midwest are under extreme heat warnings through the weekend, with forecasts pushing past 100 degrees in multiple cities. Iran is threatening tourism sites worldwide as global travel ramps up for a busy spring season. The regime also says it is still making missiles despite 3 weeks of heavy U.S. and Israeli strikes on its manufacturing plants. The Pentagon now requesting an additional $200 billion to fund the war. That price tag would need congressional approval. Some student loans are moving to the Treasury Department. It's part of the president's plan to dismantle the Department of Education, the first to shift about $180 billion in defaulted loans.
We need to get back into the business of collecting the money that is owed.
Legendary martial artist and actor Chuck Norris has died. He starred in karate films in the 80s, as well as the hit TV series Walker, Texas Ranger. He was 86 years old. In Washington, I'm Bill Malugin. Have a great weekend.
I'm an American, and I have been trapped in Thailand because I can't get out of Thailand because of the U.S., Israeli, Iran happening. I don't want to get censored, but y'all know what's going on. Apparently, it's affecting everything because I'm in Asia trying to get back to where I live in Norway, and the only way to get there, hold on, I'll show you on the map. All right, as you can see, here I am in Thailand, and if you're trying to go from Thailand to Norway, right, Thailand and Norway, where do you have to fly over? You have to fly over the Middle East, and I've had 2 flights be canceled so far, and they're canceling, I mean, by the dozens, by the hundreds, because every hub is Doha and Qatar, or Australia, it's like the United Arab Emirates. It's all over Dubai, and there's no flights, and the flights that they have, some other flights that are going, like, for example, from Thailand to like Hong Kong and trying to go over, those flights have gone. They were $400, then they were $800, $2,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $8,000. I mean, like, the airlines are getting over on us big time, which is insane because people really need to get home. They need to get to where they're traveling. And it's unfortunate because, I mean, I'm a humble bartender. I don't have that money. You know what I mean? Like, I had enough money, and this is the end of my holiday, and I'm trying to get back home to get back to work to make more money. So, like, I'm really kind of stressing out because I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, I had a flight on Qatar Airlines, and then, I paid. That was my second flight, right? So I'm waiting on a voucher or a refund from the first flight. So then I buy another flight, and then that one gets canceled, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll send you your refund within 28 days. 28 days? I can't wait 28 days for my money. I need my money now. How am I gonna get home?
Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, to rule well and teach well, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those out here pushing this truth and our honesty and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. All right, just something quick, straight to the point. All right, it's an article that came out not too long ago, which I didn't even know this was going on. That's why, it's good to stay on your watch. All right. Because if you're not looking, all right, being on the watchtower, so many things can go under your radar. All right. But, I didn't even know this went on Saturday, man, just going on Sunday night. All right. But it says record numbers of TSA officers called out Saturday as Department of Homeland Security shutdown continues. All right. So the Department of Homeland Security is shutting down, man, which this feel like this is all by design. All right, as you know, they first got set up in 2001. All right, we all know what happened in 2001, September to be exact. All right, so people calling out. All right, it said Saturday saw the highest call out rates of TSA officers at airports since the partial Department of Homeland Security shutdown began. All right, according to exclusive data from the Transportation Safety Administration, all right, TSA, first obtained by ABC News. All right, so it was calling out because they've been withholding their checks. All right, nobody don't want to go to work if they're not getting paid. All right, so over 3,250 officers called out Saturday, March 21st, according to TSA data, accounting for 11.51% of the scheduled workforce. Airport security lines are going nationwide as TSA officers who haven't received a paycheck for over 3 weeks called out of work over the weekend. President Donald Trump posted on his social media platform that he will deploy immigration and customs enforcement, ICE, agents to airports beginning Monday unless Democrats agree to a funding package to the end of the Department of Homeland Security shutdown. So Trump saying if they don't end this shutdown, are you going to send the ICE agents into the airport? So you already know what that's going to cause. It's going to cause a shit show. All right, they're going to try to make sure, they stop immigrants from coming in, they turn them away, or snatch them up at the airport. All right, so this shit, which, we don't care if it goes south. All right, which, through the spirit, we don't really travel or in that travel spirit anyway. All right, especially getting on a plane. Some bros may do it. All right, but, that traveling, all that traveling, man, that's really, what a lot of people in the world do. That's why they get caught up in these circumstances, because they always, they busybodies. They never stay at home. All right, and things like this can happen, if you travel a lot. All right, so the TSA, they the ones that check you and all these things when you go to the airport. So, they're having a shortage of workers doing it. So, of course, flights getting canceled and all these different things. All right. But, this lasts a long time. All right, you see this having drastic effects on America, man. All right, which, it's all through the spirit. All this shit is going to collapse soon. Everything have its end. All right. But, hey, man, people getting stuck at the airport, flights getting canceled. Not only that, people that's overseas, they can't find their way to get back to America because a lot of their flights flying over, all right, the Middle East or the region where America and Israel is going into with Iran. So it's a lot of things going on that's affecting the citizen, man. All right, so life as we know it is changing, especially for the average American citizen. All right, especially one that don't see this stuff going on and they trying to carry out their life like it's normal. All right, like it ain't stuff going on behind the scenes or in front of the scenes that's right in front of your face, but you turn the blind eye to it. All right, it made me think of the scripture, say in Exodus 15, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So traveling going to be restricted All right, a lot of things going to be restricted, man. All right, so it's something to keep our eye on, man, you know, with this TSA thing. All right, even though, you know, it don't affect us per se because, you know, a lot of bros don't be into that traveling. And if we do, we most likely will use a car, all right, you know, to travel, you know, state to state, or the case may be. But, you know, you do have some brothers that travel to see the Akim, you know, that's mostly, if we was to travel, what's to travel is to see Akim in other states, all right? You know, you have some apostles that do that, you know, and some brothers that do that. All right, but that's all about the spirit and the will of the Heavenly Father. But, you know, you don't see bros going out on vacations and getting stranded and trapped. All right, because now this ain't the time for that, man. You know, telling what may happen. All right, especially you going out of the country. All right, look at some people, what happened, they got stuck in Dubai. All right, so this ain't the time to really be traveling, especially with this going on, because you see what this heading. All right, TSA officers, all right, calling out. So, you know, them airports is packed. All right, you know. And not only that, there's another thing they're not saying. All right, with this fuel, you know, going up, you know, it take a lot of fuel to go on these planes. So, you know, the cost of that is going to change. All right, it's going to make your ticket be higher. All right, because they use it to adjust for the inflation of the gas prices. So this thing is affecting a lot of things, man. So, you know, it's just something quick. And with that being said, shalom.